So we'll start off by removing the carpeting. And the key tool we're going to have here is the bullnose pliers. And we'll show you how we use that. I like to wear a pair of gloves. The carpeting backing can be a bit rough. And these tools here we'll be using when we cut the carpet up to pack it out of here. Okay, first remove any door stops, any floor vents or anything like that. Then just take your bullnose pliers, go to the corner of the room, grab a handful, pull. And you can see it comes back from the tack board pretty easy. The next thing we're going to do is take our cutting knife, and I tend to like to cut these into about thirds to make them easier to handle. So we'll grab a third here. And I'll finish that for the rest of the room. This room is 15 by 13, so we'll give you the total time to do each step of the project afterwards. Now I'm going to roll up the third that I have cut. And I have some old tape here, and I'll just tape it so that it stays tied together and easy to handle. Throw on the truck to get out of here. And I'll just do this for the rest of the room. Okay, it took about 10 to 12 minutes to pull the carpet out of this 13 by 15 room. And next we're left with the padding. The padding is put down in 6-foot strips typically, like ours is. And that's pretty easy, you just grab it. And it shreds pretty easy. The padding is stapled about every 3 or 4 inches around the edge. That's what's holding it down. And those staples are one of the more annoying things you have to do for the whole project. Pulling out all those staples. And I guess some people could pound them in. I tend to pull them out just because I enjoy it all so much. Okay, that took about 8 minutes to pull the pad, tape it, roll it up, tape it up, and take it in the other room and get it out of the way. Next comes, all of these tasks so far, including this one that's coming up, are kind of like work, you know, they're not clever, they're not technical, they're just some work. We're going to grab our bullnose pliers again. I like to remove all the staples. Some people would pound them in, I imagine, and I think that's just fine. But I like to remove them. There's a couple ways to do it. So you see me here, I'm just letting them fall where they will. And what I do afterwards, I have my little magnetic tool. I just pull it out and I wander it around and I collect all the staples that way. And then shove them in a trash can. So that works for me. My wife, she tends to be a little more neater. So she'll pull the staple and drop it in the trash can. And that's how she prefers to do it. Either way, you get the staples out of the floor and you get them in the trash can. So we'll start that task now and we'll let you know how long it took for this whole room. There's a staple every 3 or 4 inches around each piece of padding, so there's a lot of them. Okay, we spent about 20 minutes pulling all those staples and sweeping them up. And you can see the floor looks pretty clean here. So from that point, I'm going to start on the carpet tack strip. If you haven't worked with this before, it's like shark's teeth. And I get bit regularly, but I just ignore it. If you haven't had a tetanus shot booster in 10 years, I'd think about it before you start on your carpet strip. I pulled this piece out right here. As you can see, pulling them out, it leaves about 3/4 of the nails in as you pop the strip out, and you have to go back and pull the nails. And I just use my knee pads, my safety glasses, my own Wonder Bar, my trusty Wonder Bar I've had for years, and an old hammer. And I just hammer into them. And I just move along. About the whole process, and you go around till there's no more to do, and that means you're done. Okay, we pulled up all the tack board. That took about a half an hour to get all the tack board out, go back with this, pop up any nails that remained in the floor, and then kind of sweep it up and put it in the trash can and get it out of the way. Kind of like to keep working in a clean area. The last thing we have to do in this room is the baseboard. I pulled this piece off over here, and you can see that the baseboard is connected to the wall using 2 1/8 brads. These are shot in the wall with a pneumatic gun, and many of them come out with the board like on this one, and a few will always remain in the wall, and I'll go back with this tool and pull them out. When we start pulling the baseboard off, I add one more tool. Probably some of you have this already. It's a 5-in-1 painter tool. And that helps get the baseboard loose from the wall. The first step in taking out the baseboard is to go along and score the top of it with your box cutter or other sharp tool. You can use this, some people like this. We use a box cutter, and that many of your builders will go ahead and put a piece of caulking along there, and that cuts through that so it comes loose from the wall easier. This kind of baseboard is called MDF, that's medium density fiberboard, and it's what's used in most homes nowadays. You'll still find wood, and if you have wood, probably all the nails will come out. On MDF, some of them stay in the wall. So we'll get started here. So I take my 5-in-1 painter tool and I create an opening, and then I grab my Wonder Bar, push it down, and loosen it up. And I don't really use the painter tool unless I need to again. I'll start another spot here. And then put this in. So that's how I pull the baseboard out. So the whole tack board for this room, again, took about a half an hour. Okay, we finished up the baseboard here in the living room. Took about a half an hour, but the contractor had put in some crossed nails, and when they put in crossed nails or do things like that, it makes it hard to pull it out. Otherwise, it just looks like this. We left the baseboard in place. We went around the house and we decided to do the rest of the house, so we pulled all the carpet up, and this is it. It's a lot of carpet and a lot of padding here. And over here, you can see all the tack board from the carpeting that we pulled up. We didn't spend a penny on this, just a lot of labor. except that Meg finally decided she couldn't stand all that carpet dust and dirt coming out and all my construction debris, and she went and picked up a shop vac for 60 bucks at Costco. Otherwise, the tools we use were the same tools we've showed you in the video. They're all right here. They're all pretty ordinary tools, things you might find around the house, and that's it. So we're going to hire a U-Haul, load this up and haul it off into the dump probably today or tomorrow, and then everything's ready for the contractor to come in. Saved a lot of money doing that, just to let you know. And I think you could too. That's it. Thanks.